What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York at Irving Plaza. We just wrapped up an awesome interview with Tesseract, and now we are here with, from Massachusetts, Astronoid. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's been about 2 years since the release of your latest record, Air, and a lot of people have been loving it. You know, I was really mesmerized when I first heard it. Do you have like a conclusion on that record cycle and everything?
I feel like this might be it. Feeling like we're closing down, and we've been writing, but nothing, solidified yet. But I feel like we're ready to move on from these songs, and I've had a lot of fun playing them the past year. So, since last February we've been touring. So,
Awesome.
Except for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except
for me.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I had to take a year off to deal with stuff at home. Nothing bad, just stuff at home.
Life,
man.
Yep.
Yeah, life. So I had to deal with life, and someone filled in for a year, did a great job, and luckily enough, everything lined up where I got to come back.
Excellent.
Yeah, Seamus Minahan from Vanna.
Awesome.
Played for us for a year, and he killed it. And I think he's on tour with Lydia, or he's going on tour with Lydia soon. So he crushed it, man. He did a great job.
Excellent. Now that you're kind of in the later portion of the record cycle, have you noticed that playing all these songs live now on the later portion, people are like starting to like understand it, sing along more, and whatever?
Yes, absolutely. People are starting to, like, every gig, there's more people singing, and each tour we see more Astronoid shirts, and slowly but surely the pool's growing, and we're pretty fortunate that people like it enough to come out and support us, and we're more than happy. Even if there's one person, it's a great show.
Absolutely. Do you guys care to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just noticed that all of the shows we've been doing, like, we have people come back and talk to us, and the same people we saw at the previous shows, and they're always really nice and appreciative that we come back. And
Yeah.
it's nice to see that those people kind of grow with us and
Yep.
continue to stick with us.
People from 4-person shows coming out to like the shows with Periphery and the shows with Tesseract, it's really great to play to that small pool of people, and then when we're playing these bigger shows with these bigger bands, it's cool to see them come back.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I saw you guys was last year at the Knitting Factory with my friends in Spotlights, and when I saw that you guys are coming back on like a show like this, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah. Now, what I was very impressed about with the Air record is that it's very atmospheric, but at the same time, there's also some like technical elements in there. Like, I've heard people say that it has black metal elements in there. Some people say that it's avant-garde. Some people say that it's prog, and just about every other category that you could think of. Was that like an intentional idea to make like a diverse and experimental record, or did it just end up that way?
I think it just ended up that way. We listen to a lot of varied stuff between us, and I think just that kind of seeps into our writing and our playing.
Yeah, it's just sort of everything that we like crammed together. As we were working on Air, it was like, okay, are we allowed to do this? Are we allowed to do that? We're like technically a metal band, but like, can we sing? Can we use these lyrics? Can we add this element of atmosphere to it? Is that acceptable? And then we were just like, fuck that, and let's do whatever we want. And that was the result.
Absolutely.
But it took a while to get there, to like say fuck it to ourselves and whatever.
Yeah. I could imagine.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best methodology, and this was a quote from a teacher of mine in art school, the best thing to do is just say fuck it.
Yeah. I live by that.
Yeah, that's the world's best artist statement. If only Bob Ross could have said that.
Hey, we watched a lot of Bob Ross before this tour. I actually got my oil painting set.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we tried. It came out pretty good.
Fuck it.
He's a good
Happy
teacher.
trees.
He's a good teacher.
You got to do a metal Bob Ross, like Happy Little Skulls. You could put Satan in there. It's your world.
Just put a happy little
Great
dude in.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just put a nice little smile on Baphomet here.
Yeah. And when he like does his noises instead of like his you do Now, you mentioned that you are like in the process of recording new music, and I mean I think it's a little bit earlier to be asking, but fuck it.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you plan to like maybe kind of do like a follow up to Air and like kind of maybe use some similar elements that you used in your first record, or do you want to kind of maybe go outside the comfort zone and experiment even further?
I think the plan is to just do what we did with Air in terms of fuck it. And wherever these songs bring us is where it brings us. So if we decide I don't know. It's sort of like we're just going with our gut of exactly the path of air, of not necessarily the sonic path of air, but the mentality of it. So like we're just gonna play with stuff, and it's gonna sound like Astronoid, but it might not sound like air.
Okay. I mean, like, and I mentioned this with Tesseract earlier, that, like, their music is very experimental, so, like, trying new things has almost got to be, like, normal. It's like, you don't need, like, a formula.
There's no growth without, like, taking risks. So there will be risks.
Happy little risks.
Happy little risks.
I might, like, get sued for plagiarism on this, but...
We haven't said... Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
yeah, sorry. It looks like this isn't getting monetized. But you mentioned, you were on a couple tours. That you said that you did a tour with Periphery, and now you're on this tour with Tesseract. I would say Periphery's a little bit heavier, and, Tesseract's a little proggier. Have you noticed maybe a different reaction depending on who you've played with?
Interesting. I think so. Dan? It's a very...
I'm not sure.
We're still new.
Yeah.
And when we play in front of like new crowds, especially like bigger ones for Periphery and Animals and Tesseract and Pliny, it's like there's a lot of people who have never heard us, so it's like a lot of watching. And then it's sort of like the reaction to after the song is if we're having a good night or not, But the reactions have been great, from both tours and even the previous tours with Ghost Bath and Moontooth and stuff like that. So it's like it's just been a really good, steady, stream. And we have a lot of repeat people. And even when we open for Ghost, like we have people who came from those shows who have come back. And
Which is
the
awesome.
smaller shows, yeah. So, we're very fortunate for that one.
It's almost like it got to be a different vibe, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, when you go out in front of like 3,000 people who are there to see Ghost, there's just Ghost, and then Astronoid, which is fine. And we're lucky
They made it
to
too
be
obvious
there,
on the flyer,
you
like
know?
Ghost in big letters,
Yeah.
and like you need like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, hey man, as long as it says Astronoid on there, I'm happy. No, but it was awesome, and we had great reactions. Like so. We're very fortunate, and it's just slowly growing.
Now, me and Matt were talking a little bit about Boston and where to get the best lobster rolls and everything. But I always like to talk about, and because I know Massachusetts is a fairly big state, but it's the metalcore capital with Killswitch Engage and all that remains, Shadows Fall, and just a lot of amazing bands have come there. Has there been like a scene that you guys cut your teeth in the northern Massachusetts area?
Kinda, but we've never belonged to anything. Like we were in the van the other day and we counted. We ran out of. We need one more finger to count the amount of shows we played before Air came out.
Really?
We played 11 shows that we remembered.
Well, even going back to bands that we were in before Astronoid, we've always been kind of the outliers in the bands that we did. It's one thing I can definitely say about all of us is we didn't ever just fit in. There's always a fuck it mentality in the stuff that we all did. So yeah, we cut our teeth in scenes, but we weren't that scene necessarily.
Yeah, we had friends bands and like a lot of really great bands that we played with in Massachusetts, but we were never like one of them. It felt like they were all part of like a genre or a feel or like a certain type of metal, and we were just kind of like, we're Astronoid, we sing over fast stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's always like that one band that kind of stands out, you know what I mean, and then creates a wave of something else. So.
Yeah. No, it's been weird because Air came out and then it was just like tours.
Yeah.
And which is like awesome. Like it was perfect. We're very happy and fortunate to have that.
Yeah. I remember there was a couple of like YouTube channels that have given Air like in their top lists. So.
Yeah. Still strange.
Yeah.
Very
strange.
Yeah.
Does that add a little pressure too? Do you think that's gonna add a little pressure to making new music? Like, oh shit.
It has. Yeah, definitely. Like I would be lying if I said it didn't.
So before we go, I want to thank you guys so much for your time. It's the last night of the tour, and I imagine we're all exhausted. But I know that you guys, as we mentioned a couple times already, new music coming out. Is there any possible shows that you guys are going to be doing, or any shout outs that you would like to give?
We got nothing now.
Yeah.
we're going home, and we're gonna hang out for a little while, and there'll be stuff on the horizon.
Excellent. Happy little trees.
Happy little trees on the horizon.
We need some time to avoid each other for a little bit.
Yeah.
You definitely need that, right?
There's stuff going on, but you'll know soon enough.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for all your time today. Last night of the tour. We're going to end it on a high note because we're New York and we bring it. Yep. Everybody, this is Alex from Heavy New York at Irving Plaza for the Tesseract Show. We are here with Astronoid. Pick up their latest record, Air, if you've decided to sleep under a rock for the past 2 years. And be on the lookout for new music coming soon. We'll see you next time.